ITE is known for creating resources that help planners, engineers, designers, decision makers, and the public understand how to shape transportation spaces for more livable communities. Our publications, technical councils, and professional development opportunities support the idea that all transportation users, regardless of mode, have the right to a safe and accessible travel space. ITE's recommended practices on context-sensitive design, released in 2010, were groundbreaking at the time in reshaping the planning and design of streets in urban environments. ITE is happy to announce a new publication that complements our 2010 guidance. Implementing context-sensitive design on multimodal thoroughfares is geared toward the practitioner facing safety and mobility challenges in both urban and suburban spaces, and focuses on translating the 2010 recommended practices into real-world environments and design scenarios.
The handbook is structured into 6 chapters, following the typical project development process. Many publications already focus on urban centers, so this handbook focuses on low and medium density areas in the urban environment, as well as small town and suburban communities faced with remaking their arterial and collector roadways. Underlying this whole guide is the approach that our transportation network does more than move people and goods around. It can support a wide range of community goals and facilitate a more livable environment. Multimodal street design has the power to make us more active, economically strong, equitable, and environmentally friendly. The handbook is geared toward the practitioner who is interested in using street design to address issues of safety and mobility for multiple modes of transportation as part of a planning, capital, or development project. It collates together the evidence, the research, and real-world case studies that transportation professionals need to advance their projects. Rooting designs in a goal-based project process is an important step in developing realistic performance measures and positive design evaluations. The handbook lays out several example goals, such as placemaking, used by communities that have implemented context-sensitive design. Truly context-sensitive design can only be achieved when sound policies and programs are in place that enable the implementation and use of those designs. The handbook covers land use planning, demand management, and other strategies that make multimodal streets a reality. Each user of the street has specific operating needs that determine design parameters. It's important for practitioners to understand the trade-offs associated with building a streetscape to accommodate one group of users over another in terms of safety, mobility, and accessibility. As implied by its name, this handbook emphasizes context, creating street typologies that integrate both mobility function and land use environment, helps practitioners determine designs for each street type in their community. In addition to understanding the trade-offs associated with design, practitioners need analytical tools to understand how a street is used today and how it could be used in the future. The handbook covers several multimodal analysis tools, such as tracking surveys, pedestrian delay, and traffic projection mitigations. On many of our arterials, people are already out there walking today, and by making streets like this safer, we can encourage more people to walk. We devote a chapter of the handbook specifically to pedestrian mobility and safety, since pedestrians are often the most vulnerable group of transportation users, but also one of the most critical for a successful community-enhancing streetscape. If you think about walking or bicycling along an automobile-dominated roadway, a large amount of pedestrian-bicycle discomfort is due to high vehicle operating speeds. An entire chapter of the handbook is devoted to the topic of speed management, which improves safety for all users and makes streets much more comfortable for multimodal usage.
In addition to the tools and concepts of context-sensitive design, practitioners need examples of planned and built multimodal street design projects with before and after data. These examples are crucial to moving designs forward and addressing concerns of different groups of transportation users. The handbook features 7 case studies that show how communities turned automobile-dominated urban and suburban streets into places that welcome walking, bicycling, and transit use. The thoroughfares primarily served one mode and one purpose, and now they serve many modes and many purposes. These transformations promote economic development, safety, and placemaking. Each case study includes background data such as traffic volumes and crashes, implementation details gathered from interviews with each jurisdiction, and before and after cross-sections and photos. With these case studies, we show that transformation can happen in not just urban centers, but also in our suburban communities and small towns.
This publication could not be made possible without our colleagues at the Federal Highway Administration, who provided the funding for us to complete this handbook. I hope today's preview of the Context-Sensitive Design Implementation Handbook has piqued your interest. I invite you to join us for a free launch webinar for the handbook on Thursday, November 9th. Full information and registration details can be found at the ITE Learning Hub, accessible through our website, www.ite.org.